Today we are here to tell you about our Grizzly Dungeon Jam. My name is Marissa and with me is Nancy.
Hello.
So what is a dungeon jam? A jam, it's a friendly community dungeon zine where anyone can submit a half or a full page thing that you would find in a dungeon. And then we take all those submissions and we print them up in a little zine booklet. And then when it's done, you can pick it up and have tons of ideas to use in your next dungeon adventure. So specifically, what do we want? We want submissions should be something that you would find in a dungeon. So it could be a room, a monster, treasure, a trap or a puzzle, a map, a magical item, pretty much anything. However, this is the Grizzly Dungeon Jam. So a bear must appear in some form in your submission. Submissions should be either a half or a whole sheet, a standard 11 by 8.5 inch paper. Whatever you create should be system agnostic. So it doesn't have to be, a 5e monster stat block, because anyone's going to pick this up and they might be running some other system. We're a public library, so please keep your submissions appropriate. If you wouldn't want your 12-year-old niece or nephew to see it, maybe keep that in your private collection. And you can go to aadl.org/dungeonjam for more details. So that's pretty open-ended, and open-ended things make me shrivel up like a raisin. So Nancy and I are going to do a little show and tell of some things that we made. Nancy, what did you make?
So I went a little nuts with bear puns. I love puns and I love wordplay. So my first suggestion is a creature, and it is a berry. It is a tiny fey bear with butterfly wings that lights up. Its rump lights up like a lightning bug.
So cute.
For the adorableness of just shiny little bear fairies was my idea, but they are actually a wild creature, the way that I was thinking about this, and they come in swarms. I was basing a lot of my stuff off of D&D 5e, but this can be adapted to any other system. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, these are something that will attack you. That, like, if you antagonize them, or if they're just angry, because bears are just sometimes like that, they do slashing damage in a swarm. So they could mess you up. But in my head, I was kind of seeing them as like maybe 5 to 6 inch long little bears. But yeah, their swarm, when they attack, it basically turns into Fury of the Small. So it's just lots of claws and a bad day.
I love it so much. I love it.
What about you, Marissa? What was your first idea?
Okay, so speaking of swarms, so I made some little panda bear bats.
You're so cute. I love them so much.
They live in caves. They are just cute little panda bear bats. They're small creatures. They're stupid and clumsy, but very friendly. So if you can speak to animals, they'll help give you directions if you ask them nicely. They basically have no defenses. They're just cute. They live in caves and they eat cave slime. So they either lick the walls, but they also feast on dreams. So if anybody's taking a long rest, some little bat bears might come and suckle at your head. But they won't hurt you. They won't hurt you. But it might be like
the 9 version
opportunity.
9 players. When we were talking about this earlier, my one of my things with them was like, if you bribe them, maybe they will become your companion. Because I was also thinking about that with the berries of like, if you have speaks to animals, or if like you could possibly have a bear companion. But that's also my personal dream, is to have some kind of like fairy animal pet companion. That's like,
it would be so cute.
Yes, that is #goals for me. So that. So I had a couple more ideas that were kind of in that same vein. I came up with a spell that was called Pandemonium, that turns everybody that you pointed at within like a cone of effect into red pandas. Because why not? It's a transmutation spell. So it's just like, let's just turn everyone into bumbling, annoying balls of fluff. Because that's my image of red pandas, is that they're very annoying because they're just
little clumsy goofballs.
clumsy goofballs. that video online of the red panda. That's but yeah, I was thinking of also settings and then magical items too, to kind of give a wider range of the types of submissions that you could do for this. One of my settings that I came up with was a bear moat. So this is actually a real life thing, apparently, as I was doing research. For a lot of landlocked countries in Europe that couldn't fill their moats on their castles with water, they would just put bears in the moats. So just like 3 or 4 bears, you fall into the moat, there's a bear. That's a bad day. But I was thinking of that also as like, bears are very large, it'd be hard to fit them into a dungeon. So it's more of a creative way to kind of have a dungeon or an area that's infested with monsters and a challenge. But it's not an enclosed space. So it gives a little bit of variety to the idea of a dungeon. I was thinking it would be a great idea to do that around a vampire's castle. So it could be easily added into like the Curse of Strahd campaign or any other vampire type system that you were working in. And then my last idea was a magical item called Stitches the Bear. And if anyone plays Animal Crossing, you will note the reference to Stitches from Animal Crossing. That was intentional because I love Animal Crossing. But Stitches is a magical item that 3 times a day, when given a command word, it transforms into a grizzly bear animal companion. And you can kind of change that to whatever flavor you want, if you want him to be a panda or a polar bear or what have you. But he's friendly to his wielder and all their companions, and he understands Common. And then if you want to pick a couple other languages that they could understand, but they then basically act as that bear. So you use the stats for whatever campaign that you were in for that animal. And then that effect lasts for between 1 to 3 minutes, depending on the system and depending on your DM's preference or your preference, before reverting back to toy form. And then I was thinking of that, it like resets every day or after a long rest in your campaign. So yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Thank you.
I love it. I only had one idea, so that's all everybody's getting from me.
It's like I have so many ideas, but I don't want to cramp anybody's style. Please go hard on the puns. That's all I'm just praying for. That would be so fun.
I know. I cannot wait to see what everybody comes up with.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I look forward to seeing all of your submissions.
Thank you.